if you plug in your numbers here, you're going to have 2 plus a negative 7 and then minus 10. For the first part, the second one is going to be 10 plus 2 minus a negative 7. 2 plus a negative 7 is negative 5, minus 10 is a negative 15. And then 10 plus 2 is 12, minus a negative 7 is 19. And it is going to be an answer of negative 285. Alright, on this problem, b over a, that's going to be 12 over negative 6, so that's negative 2. b plus a is 12 plus negative 6, so that's 6, and if you square it, you get 36. And then b over c is 12 over 3, that's 4. Squared is 16, so it's a negative 72 plus 16, which is a negative 56. So f minus e is 2, and if you square that, you come up with 4 and multiply the 4 by a negative 1. So you're going to have e, which is 2, and then back here minus f is minus 4. So we end up with 2 minus 4, which is a negative 2, and minus 4 is a negative 6, times negative 1 is a positive 6, and then plus 4 from the front will be 10. Winning number today is 4. We have 14 out of 22 with homework, and that comes out to a percentage of 64. Here are the answers. On the first one, you should have x to the third minus 7x squared plus 4x plus 12 equals 0. The second one, and notice here while I'm reading this off, we know the pattern that if you multiply these two numbers you get the back end, and if you add the two you get the middle. So if you want to skip the step where you end up with negative 4x minus 5x and then you have to combine them to get to this, that's okay to do that. But the answer is x to the third minus 3x squared minus 34x plus 120 equals 0. Number 3, now this one is really easy. You write the problem and then you can show this, but like I showed you on the other one, you know that this times this will get you this. If you add these two you get the middle term. So if you want to do that, that's fine. But x squared minus 7x minus 18 equals 0. Number 4, x to the third plus x squared minus 14x minus 24. Number 5, x squared minus 2x minus 35 equals 0. Number 6 is x to the fourth minus 5x to the third plus 2x squared plus 8x equals 0. Number 7 is x squared plus 9x minus 36 equals 0. Number 8 is x to the third minus x squared minus 26x minus 24 equals 0. Number 9 is x to the third minus 3x squared minus 60x minus 100 equals 0. Number 10 is x squared minus 17x plus 72 equals 0. Today's Common Core objective is not on there, but it is to, it's the same thing as the one it was yesterday. I don't know why I didn't put it in. roots, -4, 6, and -2. So here's an example. If it's -4, it should be x plus 4, and positive 6 should be x minus 6, and -2 should be x plus 2. When you have 3 of them, you need to do the first 2 first. Do that. Don't do anything crazy like the back 2 or the front and the back. Do the first 2, not only because it's easier to go left to right, but also when I do the homework solution guide, that's how I'm going to do it. So you can follow along with what you have. If you multiply these first 2 together, you'll have x squared. Add these 2 items here. 4 plus -6 is -2. So it's a -2x. And then multiply these 2 items to get -24. Just a shortcut instead of writing it all out and then having to simplify the 2 middle terms. Once you get to this spot, you need to multiply that first set by x from right here. So do x to the third minus 2x squared minus 24x. But don't put parentheses around that because you still need to multiply through by the 2 now from this 2 here. So that would be plus 2x squared minus 4x minus 48. Now it's all equal to 0, and you just have to simplify. If I simplify this, I have 1 x to the third, but I have -2x squared plus 2x squared. What happens to the x squares? They cancel and they're gone. Do not write 0x squared. That will be counted half off. Go to the x's, and we have -24x minus 4x is minus 28x, and then we'll have minus 48 to finish it off. Yeah, 4, and I'm going to show you how to go through the 4, and none of them are 0, so that you can follow along on the solution guide when I work it out. We should have x plus 1, x minus 4, x plus 2, and x minus 1. Is there any question about where any of those came from? Okay, I'm going to multiply the first 2 together. So if I multiply the first 2 together, my first term is what? X squared. And what is 1 plus a -4? -3x, and then 1 times a -4, minus 4. So there's one quantity we have, and you can go to the back side now and do the back 2, x plus 2 and x minus 1. So when I multiply these 2 together, what's my first term? X squared, and what is 2 plus a -1? Positive 1. So that'd be a positive 1x. And then 2 times a -1 is -2. So now you have 2 things to multiply together. They each have 3 items in them. Alright, so try to write small enough to where you can fit it all on one line. I'll do the same thing as well. I can't guarantee since I'm using the stylus and an iPad, but we'll try it. Alright, so if you're going to multiply 3 items by 3 items, start with this one and multiply it through by everything over there to start with. So that would be x to the 4th plus x to the 3rd minus 2x squared. Any questions about where I got those 3 items from? Alright, now go to the minus 3x, and you have to include the negative there and do the same thing. So that's -3x to the 3rd minus 3x squared plus 6x. And you'll finish it off by multiplying through by the minus 4. So that would be minus 4x squared minus 4x, and then plus 8. Just barely got it all on one line. So from there you just have to simplify. We have how many x to the 4ths? 1. How many x to the 3rds? So this one is gone, and we have two of them there. X to the third minus 3x to the third is negative 2x to the third. And now we have x squares to look at. How many x squares do we have? I have three of them here, so negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5, minus 4 is negative 9. So we're done with that, that, and that. The x terms, we have two of them. 6x minus 4x is 2x. And you have just one constant, which will be 8. On the practice problem, you should have x plus 5, x minus 4, and x minus 10. If I multiply these first two, I get x squared plus x minus 20. And I'm going to multiply that by x minus 10. I'll come up with x to the third plus x squared minus 20x minus 10x squared minus 10x plus 200. So I would have x to the third, x squared minus 10x squared is minus 9x squared. And I believe this should have had an x beside it, right? Okay. Now I was beginning to wonder. So minus 20x minus 10x is minus 30x. And then you'll have a plus 200 at the end. The answer to the first bonus is 61. Answer to the second bonus is 8. Alright, on this one we should have x plus 3, x minus 2, x plus 1, and x minus 5. If you multiply these out two at a time, here and here, you should get x squared plus x minus 6, and on the other side, x squared minus 4x minus 5. And when you multiply out, you'll get x to the fourth minus 4x to the third minus 5x squared plus x to the third minus 4x squared minus 5x, and then minus 6x squared plus 24x plus 30, and just barely squeaking in a 0 at the end. Did anybody have that all the way through? Okay, so you should have x to the fourth, and then minus 3x to the third, and let's see, minus 11x squared minus 15x squared, and minus 5x plus 24x is plus 19x, and then plus 30. If you had that, come on up.